All right, on behalf of Rock River Elementary, I'm going to introduce, the kids are going to introduce themselves. But at Rock River Elementary, we have been working with Teton Science very closely over the last this is our 4th year, to implement project-based learning, place-based education, and our main focus today is going to be on our community impact projects.
Yeah. My name is Lincoln Willie, and I'm in 7th grade.
My name is Bryden Leslie. I am in 5th grade.
My name is Carter Valier, and I'm in 5th grade.
My name is Letty Bowers, and I'm in 6th grade.
Okay, so this is the model for learner-centered projects, and we have had experience in all areas.
The goal of these projects is to integrate content and place. Our teachers get creative on how to connect our projects to the curriculum, especially in science and ELA.
The community really does become our classroom. We have become so in tune with to our community and look for ways to really connect and interact within it.
Our focus today will be community impact projects. What is a community impact project, you might ask? It is a large project that begins with identifying a problem or need of the community and coming up with a solution that would benefit the community as a whole. It is also a way for us to practice having a voice in the community and to represent the school.
Through community impact projects, we learn how to come up with and identify a problem. It all starts with an idea. We keep field journals where we write down all of our thoughts and ideas. We keep them in our field bags because we never know when it will be time for an outdoor adventure to explore. It's the one notebook no one ever seems to lose.
So the first project that we kind of started off with was called the Highway 13 Vehicle to Wildlife Collisions Project, and it began fall of 2024. This project was brought up by some of our actual students who went to school every day on this highway, and they kept on noticing that the number of animal collisions kept on growing, and so they told their parents about it, and then the parents told the teachers, and so then we kind of ultimately decided that we wanted to do something about it. So one of our classmates' dad is an outfitter, so the project became real life for her. Others in the area that travel and live on the highway also became very passionate about the project. This passion spread throughout our class and became an everyday topic. It became clear that this would become our community impact project.
We went on a field trip along the highway to count how many dead animals there were and see what the habitat was around them.
We traveled in a bus along the highway with everyone's eyes glued to the windows to see who could spot the dead animals so we could add them to our maps. And yes, we were counting roadkill. At the far end of the highway, we got to learn about where the water we drink at the school originated from also.
On our way back, we visited a local ranch, and this really helped the students who do not live in the area make a real-world connection to the project. And it even helped us learn about our community in the process.
So then we decided we wanted to create a map of Highway 13, which is actually over there. But when we were creating this map, we also had to use math. We were scaling a picture of Highway 13 up so that we could see it enlarged. And so we also added dots for the animals that were hit. So there are some clusters that we noticed where there was multiple animals being hit, so that was interesting.
With the help of our local teacher, Miss Fire, who also lives off the highway, we learned who lives on places along the highway. It helped us all really understand and connect to the highway because we know the people who live there.
Because we felt that this project really connected to the community, we put our map and data in the main hallway of the school by the library. Gaining public attention helped spark a lot of conversations in the community. Everyone became aware of our project. You could definitely identify problem areas. And as you can see, if you look at the map, we added a lot of details, and all of those dots are where the roadkill happened. And we had to add a lot of details so that we could, and that really helped us.
Here's a close-up of some of our data collected. We knew one of the YDOT workers in Arlington, so he was able to get us official data from the last year up to this time of roadkill, and what mile marker and species was killed. Graphs help bring it to reality.
We met it with some legislators at the park, and they told us like what our next step should be, and they helped us decide what we should do next. And their main advice that they gave us was to never give up.
Next, we learned that stopping and passing distances had a lot to do with animal collisions. So we simulated that by riding bikes at a fast, riding bikes fast, riding bikes at a medium speed, and riding bikes at a little speed. And there was a place where we were supposed to stop in the parking lot and see how far the stopping distance was. So we collected a lot of data from that.
After a lot of studying the data, we came up with a solution of asking for the speed limit to be lowered. To hopefully get the speed limit lowered, we invited the state engineer to come in and tell us all kinds of information about it and how it would look to change the speed limit. And at the end, he sadly said that he could not get the speed limit lowered.
This was pretty disappointing, so we kind of let it drop. But after seeing more animals dead, we have decided on a new approach, and that will be to work with game and fish at least to get more wildlife crossing signs, maybe even cool flashing ones.
Their next project, we are calling the Longhorn Loop, and I'm just going to let them talk about it.
So first we had to identify our problem. Our problem was that cross-country needed a space to practice that didn't involve crossing roads or even highways. And we also needed it for PE, for mountain biking, so that the PE teacher had a place to teach us how to ride a bike. And right now our only place to do that is on the streets or in the parking lot. We also needed it for community uses that they might just want a place to walk or run or exercise on. And it's a great use of space. So after we identified our problem, we went on Google Earth, and each of the students had a chance to design what we thought the loop would look like. So and it had to be like 1,600 meters. And then we put it all together to make one map.
So next we decided that we wanted to do the same thing that we did with the Highway 13 map with the Longhorn Loop. So we had a map of the school and what the Longhorn Loop would look like, and we scaled it up by 6.6 centimeters so that we could get a bigger map of it. And while we were at it, we also figured out the changes that we were going to make, like improving the track and adding a discus field, and hopefully we will be able to add a helicopter pad so that live flights could come in and come out also.
And why we need a helicopter landing pad is because, like, in Rock River, we don't have a place for the helicopters to land for live flights, so they always land on our baseball field, football.
And very soon into this Longhorn Loop project, we figured out that you couldn't just do one step and then get to the top of the staircase. You had to go through multiple steps and ask multiple people if it was okay. And our first person that we had to ask in the chain of command was Principal Anfinson. She's right there. Then the second one was our head of maintenance. Our third one was Dr. Goldhart. And our fourth one was the school board. They all seemed very excited about our project, and they all said yes.
Mr. Wilkinson is the head of maintenance. We then had to go to Dr. Goldhart, out and school board members. They loved the idea.
So next, we decided that instead of just having a flat map, we wanted to create a 3D model. So it incorporated a lot of skills too, like Google mapping and measuring, math and scaling a model, and blueprint reading, and then ultimately creating it.
In the back, we had the maintenance man bring in the blueprint of the Rock River School so that we can scale it up and make a 3D one. And then in the back there, you can see the forest, the little group of trees, that's what we call it. And that's where our PBL basically started. We went out there and we were sitting there and liked to explore it. And the younger elementary grades want to eventually create a learning and nature learning center back there. And now it's come from a problem, from a vision, and now it is reality. Being able to actually run the trail while training for cross country was fun. The trail is 0.94 miles, so if I run it twice, it's a 3K, which is perfect for a junior high race.
One of our outreach contacts became the Tour de Wyoming group, who loved our vision, and they donated $2,000, which helped us get chipped asphalt that has now been delivered.
And our future vision for this trail is we are hoping to get like workout equipment along the trail, and we are hoping not only the cross-country team uses it, but our whole community uses it. Also, our PE teacher, Mr. Matt, he is getting mountain bikes, and that is what we will be mountain biking on.
Another thing that we want to make a possibility is to get grass identification markers. So, like, there's a lot of Wyoming grass along the Longhorn Loop, and we want the community to know what kind of plants those are called. I think PBL has made me realize, like, that even kids can make a difference. It's not just all adults.
I think what PBL has benefited me is it's made school a lot more fun, and it's also made me learn that kids can even make a big difference.
PBL has taught me that if you have an idea to change something for the better or stop something bad from happening, then you shouldn't just keep it an idea. You should work on it and try to make it reality so that the world can ultimately become a better place. So
I think PBL has taught me that it's not just PBL has taught me that I have a place in the community and I can give back to the community, and it's taught me that I can make a difference.
And at this time, we would welcome any questions you might have for these students. Up here are some of the other smaller projects that we do work on. We have a little bit of time if you guys would want to hear about some of those other ones. Do you guys want to talk about this? Okay. Pick one and talk about it.
So one of the projects that we did was making national park brochures, where we would make travel brochures on Canva about a national park. So we all picked our favorite national park and we made travel brochures about them. Oh, and it connected to our science unit about landforms. So.
And another one of the projects that we did is the penny boat one. It's at the very top, and that represented the Mayflower, and the pennies were the people, and we were told to make a boat that could withstand, was it 100 people or 120 people, and that went in relationship with our Revolutionary War project.
Another thing we did was, so our student teacher, she had us like pick something from Wyoming, and so I picked the buffalo, and we have a voice and a choice in Rock River, and so we got to do a hands-on project and a slideshow, and so I brought an actual like buffalo hide, and they all got to touch it, and yeah.
Another project we did was a load project. So we were given coordinates and we went on Google Maps and researched them so that we could find how to build a shelter for that place and we could find food. And it related to our survival units.
Also, another one that we did, yeah, that one up there. The 7th graders created, we all created posters on a ghost town. We would pick 3 ghost towns from a county and make a poster about them. And we were learning about ghost towns in the process and how it related to Jamestown, the first settlement in America, and how it ultimately kind of failed. So it went along with our reading unit.
All right, the other pictures are from some of our K-1-2 who are actually involved in a lot of the place-based that we do at Rock River. Let's see. Do you guys have any questions for them?
And maybe you mentioned this before I came in, but on your Highway 13 project, what was the most common animal that was struck by the vehicle?
Yeah, it was definitely antelope.
Really? Okay.
Antelope's got hit a lot.
And let's see, we can go back to.
Well, but that one had 13.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we did have one casualty where it was, a truck took out 13 antelope in one area, so.
Over what kind of a time frame? Is that like a yearly thing?
Yeah, this was a yearly thing.
It was a year and some of the next year.
Yeah, and it was only the data that the YDOT collect, and so, we tried to get highway reports so we could see how many ended up in, legal action, but they don't all report, and so a lot of them are.
So question for you all. You all have been doing PBL for your entire academic careers because you guys are academic career in school for a long time. It's called place-based learning, right? Or not place, but project-based learning.
And we also have place-based learning.
You have place-based too, because I've done place-based before. That's probably why I said it first. But thinking about that, and maybe you don't have an answer for this, but thinking about how you learned before and how you're learning right now, how has that changed? Are you more confident in your learning? Are you like thinking like you're
I'd say it makes us think harder
really? Why?
because it kind of like it makes us think of like a solution for a problem in our community. And for like the Longhorn Loop, it was that our cross country team didn't have a safe place to run, and for the Highway 13, it was that animals kept getting hit. So I think that's a big part of it.
And what about doing smaller projects?
And
Maybe letting.
It made you, same thing, like kind of want to think harder, and it made you kind of try and solve the problem and find a solution to things.
Because what kind of problems did you run into when you were dropped off all of a sudden in the Himalayas?
We could not find a fresh water source. Our only water source was salt water. So we spent days trying to figure out a water source.
And
we could not find one.
And it was a saltwater lake.
How does it change your thinking outside of school?
It makes you kind of want to try and find a way to do things and a better way to kind of solve problems.
I go home still thinking about PBL.
Do you guys think you could? I'm sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say, if there's not an opportunity, then build a door, because I think that sometimes you need to find the problem so that you can actually find a solution.
I don't mean to take over the conversation at all, but like, these seems like really big projects. Did any of you think you wouldn't be able to get it done when you started out? Or
Yeah, at the start I was very skeptical.
At the start of every project, you're like, will we actually like finish this, or will we just kind of let it drop? But so far, our big community impact projects haven't really fallen yet.
What keeps you going when it seems like it is going to fail? What keeps you going on to that next step?
Our teachers.
Are there any projects you haven't told your teachers about yet that you're thinking about?
Not that I can think of right now.
Carter, what's our newest project?
Our newest project is in our classroom. She put us into groups, so groups of 3 and 1 group of 2, and we have to like figure out how much it would cost to like feed 12 people a Thanksgiving meal, and so we had to create menus, and now we have to like go shopping.
Pretend shopping.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shopping's free.
And yeah.
Have you considered any? I look at the pictures and I see a lot of the nice weather projects. Have you considered anything for wintertime projects?
in our forest area, there are a lot of nests, meaning there are a lot of birds, and also there's a lot of deer that pass through there. So I was kind of thinking, like, how could you make a natural shelter for them in the wintertime without ruining their habitat. So yeah, that's one of them.
Anything else?
All I have to say is, I know a botanist at the U.S. Forest Service that's really specialized in grasses, invasive species, and things like that for that project. If you want to talk after this, I can give you his name. I'm sure he'd be happy to help out if that's a resource that you could use.
Yeah, and one of their biggest things is that they learn that it's all about networking. And I know when the teachers got together, 4 years ago, and we talked about who do we know, our networking map was very, very tiny, and now it has grown like crazy. I know our second grade teacher just got in with National Geographic, and they do live presentations for kids, and they just did one this morning before we left, and they interact with the kids through Zoom, and it has sparked our second graders. They want to create a map, and they could choose any kind of mapping activity that they wanted. And so 2 of our boys are going to compare Texas and Wyoming and which one has more dinosaurs. So one of the biggest things is that we have a what? A voice? A voice and a choice. And so even though big projects are kind of guided, they really do have the choice of what they want to do and how they're going to showcase what they've learned through community impact projects or place-based education or community.
Can I put your teacher on the spot? Have you seen your teacher learn stuff for this too, or is it all you that are doing it?
Oh, she's learned a lot.
What do you think I've learned?
I think you've learned just like a lot of how to like make a big project like this, because isn't this your first like 2 big projects?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in education for 32 years now, and it's kind of brought the life back into the classroom for me. I think sometimes we are so bogged down with that curriculum, but as you can see, we've taken the curriculum and we've made it come to life. And in that, our students they've gained that passion for learning. And I think that beyond the classroom, these kids can go anywhere and they can talk about these projects and they can talk about what they're learning. It's not just about the math and the reading, it's real life. And I think that's what these types of educational opportunities bring to